Welcome to our poster exhibition, A Cardboard History of Blue Ridge Music, now showing at Pellissippi State Community College, Strawberry Plains campus in Knoxville. This collection consists of 53 original framed concert announcements, with the earliest dating back to 1940. And what we hope to show you are the people, bands, and instrumentation influential in the evolution from early country music, at that point known as hillbilly, mountain, string band, folk, or old-time music, to what it is today. The story of our collection begins in the 1930s with Bill and Charlie Monroe, a popular duo known as the Monroe Brothers, who were featured artists, Bill on mandolin and Charlie on guitar, on the Saturday night radio program The National Barn Dance, that originated at WLS in Chicago. From there, the brothers moved south into the Carolinas, playing morning slots on several radio stations, building a large southern audience, gaining regional sponsorship, and making recordings along the way. In 1938, Bill and Charlie dissolved their sibling partnership and went their separate ways. Charlie put together a group he called the Kentucky Partners, garnering a regional audience in North Carolina, Virginia, and Kentucky. Bill created his band, the Bluegrass Boys, gaining the greater success as he joined the WSM Saturday night radio show, the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville. Over the span of his 60-plus year performing career, more than 150 talented musicians played in Bill Monroe's group. Many of those artists went on to form their own successful bands, like the iconic banjo player Don Reno. Carter Stanley was a bluegrass boy before teaming up with his little brother Ralph as the Stanley Brothers. They rose to fame performing traditional religious songs in an Appalachian bluegrass style. Also, Sonny Osborne, of Osborne Brothers fame, best known for their bluegrass anthem Rocky Top, an official Tennessee state song. Clyde Moody, known as the Hillbilly Waltz King, spent time on the road with Monroe in 1940 and later toured with Elvis early in the rock and roll star's career. Perhaps the most recognizable of the Bluegrass Boys was Lester Flatt and banjo great Earl Scruggs, who were in Monroe's band from 1945 to 1948. Once Flatt and Scruggs left Monroe, they partnered to form their own new band, the Foggy Mountain Boys, and went on to fame and fortune with hit records, their own syndicated TV shows, and television and movie theme songs like their Foggy Mountain Breakdown for the motion picture Bonnie and Clyde, and the theme from the TV show The Beverly Hillbillies. After playing together for over 20 years, Flatt and Scruggs parted ways in 1969 to form their own groups. Lester took several folks from the original band and formed the Nashville Grass, while Earl ventured out with his sons to explore other genres of music outside the traditional bluegrass he had helped to create. Local radio stations played a crucial role in promoting what developed into country music and bluegrass in the 1940s and 50s. In Knoxville, a local grocery store chain owner, Cass Walker, created and sponsored a daily radio show on WROL, and later a television show on WBIR-TV called the Farm and Home Hour, where he emceed and introduced many up-and-coming music stars like Roy Acuff, the Bailey Brothers, the Everly Brothers, and at the time, a 10-year-old firecracker singer named Dolly Parton. At 990 on the AM dial was competing Knoxville radio station WNOX with their daily midday merry-go-round and the Saturday night Tennessee Barn Dance. Like artists who performed on Cass Walker's shows, many musicians on WNOX went on to join the ultimate country music cast on the Grand Ole Opry. Groups heard on WNOX in the 40s and 50s included Flatt and Scruggs, Johnny and Jack, Kitty Wells, singer and comedian Tennessee Ernie Ford, guitar great and hit record producer Chet Atkins, the father of bluegrass gospel music Carl Story, comedians Jam Up and Honey, Norman Blake, who toured with Johnny Cash's road band for 10 years, as well as Chris Christopherson, John Hartford, and Vassar Clements, the voice with a heart, Mac Wiseman, Bonnie Lou and Buster, the 7-foot smiling cowboy Homer Harris with his educated trick horse Stardust, longtime Foggy Mountain boy Curly Seckler, who also was an original member of Charlie Monroe's Kentucky Partners, Red and Fred, the Spivey Mountain Boys, comprised of mandolin-playing Red Rector and his comedic partner Fred Smith, Hack Johnson and his brother Clyde, blind musicians Mac and Bob, two pioneer artists who influenced the development of very early country music with their unique harmonies and the use of mandolin. Young fiddler Sonny Loden of the Loden Family Band, who later became famous as Sonny James, recording many hits that crossed over the country charts onto pop music charts. The Louvin Brothers. Appearing on this concert poster is Charlie Louvin as a solo artist after his brother Ira was killed in a car accident in the 1960s. And comedian banjo player Old Joe Clark, who later went on to headline the Renfro Valley Barn Dance in Kentucky for many years. Gospel music is well represented in the exhibit, featuring the father of bluegrass gospel music, Carl Story. The Lewis family heavily incorporated bluegrass music and instruments into their shows. The Easter Brothers and their Green Valley Quartet produced more than 150 gospel recordings in their 40-year careers. And the Blue Ridge Quartet starred in their own radio and television programs in Spartanburg, South Carolina for some 25 years and were heralded as the sweetest singing this side of heaven. Almost 2/3 of the artists in this exhibition have been honored as inductees into the Blue Ridge Music Hall of Fame. The very first inductee into the Blue Ridge Music Hall of Fame was North Carolina blind guitar master Doc Watson. The Bristol recording sessions from 1927 marked a key moment in country music's evolution, producing the first commercial recordings of what at the time was referred to as hillbilly music. Some of the musicians who helped to launch this new genre of music included A.P. Carter and the Carter family. They became country music royalty, and Mother Maybelle and the Carter sisters kept the family legacy going for many years. Ernest Pop Stoneman, whose children carried on as the Stonemans, Clarence Tom Ashley was a banjo player who made professional recordings with various bands in the 1920s, and in the early 1960s introduced the world to Arthel Lane Doc Watson in a folk revival concert in New York City. Banjo player extraordinaire Charlie Poole and the North Carolina Ramblers was one of the most popular string bands in the 1920s. Poole is credited with popularizing the banjo and influencing the development of bluegrass and modern country music. Other Blue Ridge Music Hall of Famers include country music singer, songwriter, and musician Emmylou Harris, one of the leading artists behind the country rock genre of the 1970s and the Americana genre of the 1990s. Multi-instrumentalist David Holt, who often performed with his friend Doc Watson in concert. Musician, folklorist, engineer, producer, and documentarian Mike Seeger, who played with the New Lost City Ramblers, as well as with the Strange Creek Singers, alongside Hazel Dickens and Alice Gerard, who also appeared and recorded together as Hazel and Alice. Also in the Hall of Fame is the Galax Old Fiddlers Convention, billed as the world's oldest and largest, held each year since 1935 in Galax, Virginia. In the 1930s, two of the most popular radio stars in America were Lulu Bell and Skyland Scotty Wiseman. Known as the Hayloft Sweethearts, the North Carolina couple could be heard every Saturday night on WLS's National Barn Dance program out of Chicago. In the 50s, they returned to North Carolina where Lulu Bell served in the state legislature and Scotty taught school and farmed. It has been a very long journey on how country music and bluegrass evolved from the early beginnings, initially branded as hillbilly and mountain music, to where the genre is today. This is in part thanks to the many talented musicians from the Blue Ridge and Appalachian Mountains who significantly impacted the recording industry. We hope you have enjoyed our video tour of A Cardboard History of Blue Ridge Music, and we invite you to visit it in person at Pellissippi State Community College, Strawberry Plains campus in Knoxville through June 15th, 2026. See you there.